when you was talking about how you had to notice that some of your stuff, you seen it in her and what made you reflect on you.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things I was thinking about was like choosing your partner wisely. Like when you choosing somebody to be with and knowing that that is something that you got to consider when you not like you're supposed to know this, but when you start making a life with, you start thinking about having kids with, moving in with, stuff like that. And you got to consider not only her mental health, but like things that may trigger her, and that way putting you in situations that you may or may not want to be in, or you may or may not be used to. Maybe is a better way of saying it.
I think it's easy to get in that situation because a lot of people don't put their stuff on the table like hello. So most people try to give you a little bit at a time, and then before you know it, months going by, and then the person like, oh, what we doing now? We've been doing this for 6 months. You still don't know what you're getting into. You don't know all the triggers because you only it's 16 in the clip, and you getting one every couple months. Here go one, and now you kind of forced to just okay. Let me go ahead and buy this utensil that I can put this in when I need to use it. But now you only got 8. And you still getting the 9th, and you still getting the 10th, and then they think like you should know all of these things because you already got 10 of them. You should know what's going. It's like that's hard. That's hard to do.
If we using that analogy, let's say that if she wasn't already at about 12, 13, she at least went to go buy some more. She went to go buy some more. Some more pellets. You know what I'm saying? She went to go grab another box because this you should know by now. So it's not even that. It's like when this situation occurs where, let's say she liked to fight. So she might not like to fight you, but she like to fight. So then she get in the situation where she outside and she fighting, and now you find yourself once again in the situation where you in the middle of said fight, not only with who she fighting with, but whoever they with now. And so these type of things keep happening, and you notice, and it's just like I just say it or bring it up to be like these are things that you got to consider. So when you notice that type of stuff, because we all know the regular, well, we shouldn't say we all know, but
I'll say this about that because just based off what you just said, see that's one of the triggers. People's not going to really tell you, and the trigger really is, or I ain't gonna say the trigger. The personality trait is they're impulsive. How many people do you meet and you be like, so tell me about yourself, and they be like, what's going on? I'm a very impulsive person. An impulsive person will always put you in negative spots because they need to feel better in that moment. They need to get what they want, how they want it, right then and there. That's the impulse. It's like how many, impulsive dudes who would be in a situation, even say cheating, for example, and you in a situation and you know this chick is not worth you messing up what you got at the crib, and the dude will still be like, I'm doing it anyway. Yeah, the impulse of him just can't say no. And
I would take it to when you say you got impulsive like dudes. I do have impulsive friends, and those friends I don't go out with or I stay away from. I don't put myself in situations where I could fall because of their impulsiveness. And I think it will be the same way with any woman that I choose to deal with. And I'm not saying, just like messing with her or, talking to her or whatever. I'm saying on some real stuff. You've been years locked in. You moving in. This your baby mama type stuff. Like real stuff. Because we all know none of that stuff. I mean, we dudes, let's be real. None of that stuff really matters if I'm just trying to be here for the night or a couple weeks and leave. So, whatever. But on some real stuff, that's things that you would have to consider when you, moving forward or, thinking about that type of stuff. You can't just be out here reckless. And So in the future, you can't say this shocked me or this whatever, because if I knew, then I know you know, because it's been this way for a while, or this energy's been this energy for a while. So I don't know. That's just something to consider. Always know. Or always think or consider like, man, this, whatever it is you're dealing with now, you will be more than likely dealing with forever. So
yeah, you just gotta make sure you try to
acknowledge.
At least,
don't ignore those red flags, as they say. That's not just a man thing.
Yeah, you gotta ask the right questions to know what those red flags are too. Because, and then when you check those red flags, watch how they react. You know what I'm saying? Watch how they react. So you checking those red flags, because like I was saying about dating somebody and you seeing certain things in you, like it was certain ways like she would handle things, and while she doing it, it was almost like I was dating myself, like a younger version of me. And while she doing the things, I'd be like, damn, I know why she doing this. Like I know how she feeling, just how she coming at me, and I'm like, okay, how do I navigate this? Like how do I deal with this? And it's happening over and over again. Then I tell myself like, I can't believe those chicks dealt with me because I was like this. And so it made me like change those things, seeing certain things, and then like I started going through my own transformation. And it's like sometimes you got to be able to take a step back too and realize my own red flags. And if somebody tell you like, yo, bro, this is a red flag, it's like, oh, okay, cool.
And I think that's what's been my problem, because I tend to always think that I know what's happening or I can see what's with them and why it's like that. And I never once think that, man, this is probably, I see some of me in that. I always be like, man, this is why, hey, I can see why you like that. That's crazy. Wow. You need to stop putting all of that on me because I'm not that. And blah, 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 blah. I never flip and be like, you know what, maybe I do that or act that way. I'm like, nah, I'm good. Because if I'm able to tell you why would somebody wrong with me?
Sometimes
I know what's wrong. I'm good.
Sometimes it's the same stuff that you do. So when it's happening, it's not even like you shot.
L's. I'll be like, oh, no, what? I'm wrong for that. You right. Oh, you know what?
Some people don't
see that. I didn't.
Bro, some people ain't taking no L's.
I feel like, when I'm like, oh, nah, that's that way because of this, and you don't do this because of that, and blah, blah. Yeah, I'm right because I know what my stuff is, and I tell you that when it's happening. Like,
me, at one point, bro, I would know I'm wrong, and I'm still going to win. I have to make you lose. I wasn't taking no L. So when I'm talking to somebody, and I know I'm right, and I know like they're intelligent enough that like, yo, if they just took a step back and listen, like they'll know, like, okay, maybe you're right, and they just not gonna lose. And then I go back to myself. I'm like, oh man, this is how I was. Yeah. Like I just, even though I would know like my girl right, she said something, bro. And I was gaslight because I know she right, and I'm like, I'm still not losing. Like, I'm not going to lose. So when it's happened, it's like, oh, God, like, why you doing this?
Let me tell you something about how I even figured out how to make losing a W. When you lose and you able to be like, you know what, you right about that, I'll take that L on that, da-da-da, it make your W's even more. She's willing to listen more because if you be like, nah, this is why, blah, 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 she'll be like, you know, he might be right because if he was wrong, he'd tell me.
Boy, you Aries. You damn Aries, boy. At least you would be like, yo.
Be right. Because if he was wrong, he'll just be like he wrong. He do it all the time. So this might be a time he right. I'm just saying.
Hey, Robert, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like this the difference between me now, cause just to the comment section, shout out to everybody in the live chat. He said, help Queez in my way. Hold on, I can't say. I'm trying not to say that word. Jeezy help anyone in my way when I know I'm right. Queez. This the thing, bro. Young me was just like that. Basically, like if I'm right, get out the way. Like I'm not gonna back down. And I definitely was like that. But like the older I got, bro, in a lot of cases for me, it's not really about being right. Most cases, I just kind of want to have a conversation, and then once I see the conversation, it's not really a conversation no more. Then I just be like, all right, I'm over it. You can be right, whatever. Just move on from it. I don't really care. But like young me, yeah, bro. Even if I was wrong, I was right because I could have been right. So I couldn't have been Terrence Howard. Like it wasn't no taking no L's. What you mean taking an L?
If I could be right, if you can't prove I'm wrong. Yeah. So that type of energy you had,
bro, just ignorant. But it was a learned behavior. It just was like just an ignorant way to move through. You know what I'm saying? It just was ignorant. So I recognized it when I came across it. Like.
Able to answer your questions? No, I don't call out every red flag because I need to know who you are for real. And your red flags is who you are. I don't want you to start hiding them. So I need to know your red flags. What I will do is assess the red flags and see if it's something that I can handle or take or not. If I can't take that, then I'm gonna deal with you a certain way or not deal with you at all. But if it's something that's minor, then I'm not gonna trip too much, you know? If say I'm really feeling you, but you really like want to know where I'm at all the time or want me to text you every day or da-da-da. To me, that might be a red flag because I ain't used to that and that bothers me. But if I'm really feeling you and I'm trying to make this work and be in a relationship type thing with you, I might overlook that and be like, maybe she just liked me a lot, da-da-da, whatever. And
now, you know what that is, bro?
I'll let that go to keep this thing progress.
Men make concessions all the time. And we don't really trip about them because once we feel like, all right, this is a concession that I'm cool with making, we just make it and don't say nothing else about it. But, like, we don't typically throw the concessions in a woman's face. A woman will be like, well, I do this, or I bring you a plate, or I do your laundry, whatever, stuff like that in a lot of cases, which is why it's kind of like an emotional abuse, men's mental health month. But, like, men just make the concession. Like you say, I don't really want to do this, but it ain't hurting me.
Yeah.
So you just like, it ain't no big deal. I do it. No, you know what I'm saying? Whatever.
I would rather sit in the house, play 2K, watch TV, whatever, but you want me to go to this concert or take you out to dinner or whatever. So, sure, we can go do that. I'm not going to have a bad time. It ain't going. What I would prefer to do is what I want to do. But I'm gonna consider main thing. A woman's happiness is considered in a man's happiness. I forget who said this. It's not my quote, but it's a very poignant quote. And if you find out who said it, shout out to them. I believe it was Dante Nero. Shout out to him. A man's happiness is a woman's happiness is encompassed in a man's happiness. I can't be happy until you happy, but a woman's happiness don't involve you at all. You just a product or a provider of said happiness. Like, if you can't provide that happiness, I will find another who will.
I was just having this conversation earlier, and I totally agree with that. Like, I put this on Instagram the other day, but it was like, love in 2024 is beneficial. It's no longer love when there's no benefits. People gonna always show love nowadays if I'm gaining what I need to gain from this, versus just real love. Real love is getting, like, rare, bro. I feel like it's getting rare. Because even in that setting, right, you got somebody who's dealing with somebody, and I love you. Everything cool. I'm getting what I want. Okay, you're no longer being a provider I need, or you're no longer giving me what I need. I know I can go get it somewhere else. That's just kind of people moving. Men, like you say, we're trying to make the best of the situation in most cases. Because, like, if we really love you...
It does depend on what type of man you are. Because in that sense, you just
absolutely.
A lot of men, especially if you're rich and young and moving around, you're treating love or women or whatever like that, too. Like, yeah, you're going to be down with this program or you're not.
That's why we say, when women be talking they want a rich man, understand what you asking for. Because rich men are the pretty women.
100%.
You are disposable to him.
100%.
To an attractive woman, you're disposable, bro. I'll get another one. Even if I don't get a basketball player, I'll get a local... pharmaceutical person.
I'll get somebody.
Who makes some money
to make my life a little.
You know what I'm saying?
Easy. It might not be that easy.
that one might take a little more work, but I can find somebody who's gonna make my life easier. And you know what I'm saying? A rich guy, he's the pretty woman. He got plenty of options. Oh, you don't like this lifestyle? Kick rocks. I'll get another one.
His bank account's working.
Like a mug. What? Like a mug. Not gonna hold you. So it's like, be careful what you ask for.